Hi, I'm Jim Jubak, and welcome to my Hot Button Moves Now video for this week. And the hot button move is buy Japanese yen. I know, who wants to? For historic, back to the time of the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Triceratops, no one's wanted to own the yen. I mean, it was the last major currency to have negative interest rates. That's over. The Bank of Japan actually moved interest rates into positive territory. Shock. Um, and it looks like that they are, even though they've moved into positive territory, the gap between treasury yields, 10-year treasury yield about 4.2, the gap there is about 3.5 percentage points, 350 basis points between that and the yield on the 10-year Japanese government bond. Huge gap. There's a huge short position in the yen on this theory that it's going to go down even further. We're down around 150, 152, which is where the Bank of Japan intervened last time. And they've been starting to talk about, well, the yen is really, the yen is under speculative attack. There's a lot of speculative pressure to drive it down further, and the yen is too low. And that's usually the kind of language you get before the Bank of Japan intervenes. So there's a good likelihood that we're seeing the early stages of talk about an intervention sometime in the next 3 months or so. And because there's so much of a short position, I think we might actually get a fairly decent pop in the yen. So if you want to try to play this, and this is not something I'd recommend as a long-term part of your portfolio or even a major part of your portfolio, but you can use an ETF called the Invesco CurrencyShares Japan Yen ETF, and the symbol is FXY. It was down 7% or so for year to date as of like around the 25th, 26th of March. It was down another 7% in 2023. As I said, who wants to own the yen? Well, all dogs have their day. This is likely to turn. I think over the short term, an investment in yen might be a good idea. Also, if you own Japanese stocks and you're wondering when you're going to see any uptick, one of the reasons why Japanese stocks have done so poorly is because the yen has been doing so poorly. So anything valued in yen has been going down when it converts to another currency. I think you're likely to see a reversal of that. So if you've been thinking about selling your Japanese stocks because they haven't been doing anything for you, I think maybe this is a time to say, hey, not quite yet. Anyway, sometime in the next 3 months, I think we're going to get a bounce in the yen. Short-term profits, if you own some yen through an ETF or directly, and certainly maybe some pop in some Japanese stocks if you own it in your portfolio. So that's my hot button move for this week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you get notification when we do our next one. We're trying to do about 3 a week, but not always on the same day. Subscribe, free, and you get notification when the next one goes up. If you like more free stuff, and who doesn't like free stuff? JubakPicks.com, my free investing site. 3 portfolios for 12 to 18 months for dividend stocks and for 5 years, and usually about 1 or 2 posts a day, 5 days a week. Or my pay site for even more. And it's got 6 portfolios, so those 3 plus 3 more on volatility. So it's got some options plays, ETFs, and even longer than 5 years. So if you have a really long time horizon, stuff that might be really stealable because people don't think that far ahead. But for you, if you're 35 and you've got 30 years of investing ahead of you, or 25, or however long you want to be until you retire to a beach somewhere, interesting ideas, I hope. So last thing, you can find links to all those down below. Last thing, free, is that in September of 2023, my wife and I moved to Italy. We've had a long-term goal of living in Italy for a while. Our children are grown and have moved. Looks like mostly to Brooklyn. Hipsters. And we're chronicling our moves around Italy, our adventures. We're in Venice now. We're moving to Sicily, I think, for the summer, then maybe back to Venice. So we've got a free Substack called We Moved to Italy. Catchy original title, don't you think? So find a link to that down below. And as I said, free Substack. We moved to Italy, just fun. We'd love to hear your comments. So thanks very much for watching. Been Jim Trebek. Until next time, ciao.